going, buddy?
I am doing well, Devin. Thank you so much for having me. Sitting in a snowy parking lot not far from my house because the wonderful leaders of Ontario have put my kids back online, and it's pretty much it might as well having a bomb going off in my house right now.
Hey, trust me, my house is the same, man. I got kids
Yeah,
myself, dude. It's never a dull moment in here, and we homeschool our kids, so it's like that, like fucking. You got what's his name? Tasmanian devils running around here all day. So
oh, dude, it is mayhem. I don't know what the divorce rate is like these days, but man, I'll tell you this situation puts you a lot closer
oh
to that
yeah,
system right there. Me and my wife, we battle it for sure like that because I work from home, like yourself, probably using internet, battling here and there. Teachers, it's mayhem when we go to this online thing, but we're making it work and we're battling through, and hopefully they figure it out here in whatever it is, 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. I don't even know anymore. I don't even care. I don't even watch the stuff. So
yeah. We got still going on with our lives, man. No matter what's going on around us, man. We still got to
you
make things
got it.
happen, dude. So what's going on with you, man? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year as well. Not a lot, really. Pretty chill holiday season there. I did some family things, had some good dinners, lots of eating, a little bit of drinking, all that good stuff there. Santa spoiled my kids,
Yes.
and the credit card companies are coming in hot here in the next week or two for the bills. But no, things are good. We actually, I just did my first live draw last night for AMO. So every 100 members sold, I do a draw and give away prizes or gift codes. So last night we did our first 100. I
Okay.
gave away $1,000 in like discount codes. So when people sign up,
Nice.
when the events come here for my promotion group, Amateur Motocross Ontario (AMO), they'll be able to use the discount code and save some money at the event. So I gave away 10 of those last night, which was kind of fun. It's fun. I mean, you like being on the mic. You're like me. I like talking. I go on the draws. I had a couple of rums beforehand, and we had some laughs, and it was good. Some of the parents, they get on there and they talk and comment, and it's a good little laugh and kind of keeps people in the know and
Yes.
communicative type of thing, and it's just for fun too. So it was cool.
That's what's up, man. You got a lot going on, man. I like to see that you're giving back and putting them back into the sport, man. And you got your kids and family and
Yeah.
everybody involved, man. Kind of been around, man, for a while, and I've been watching you for a while. I mean, I find it crazy that like our paths are crossing now. But I mean,
Yeah.
I spent years watching you back in the States, race, and then started commentating and doing your thing now. And then, my path was a completely different path, but not, I mean, similar but different. I did some racing in the States. I was never a pro or anything like that, but I worked for a lot of companies out there in the moto. I spent about 20 years,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Nice.
working for different companies. And then I finally started this podcast, and then 20 some odd years later, man, our paths cross. So I find life to be kind of interesting at the same time, man. So, but
That's what
man,
moto does, right? It brings. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, that's what moto does. It's such a link. Not in a sexual way. It brings us
I hope
together
not.
very closely. But yeah, that's what moto does. It brings families. It brings friends. No matter what continent or where you live, you ride a
Yes.
dirt bike. It's like you got this link that just kind of ties and binds you. And like you said, 20 years later, here we are crossing paths. It's pretty cool, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it is.
Awesome to kind of see that work out.
It is, man. So let me ask you this, dude. How did AMO get started, man? And why?
So we'll go back, what is it, 6 years? So 2014, actually, I guess it'd be 7 years, coming on 7 years. 2014, I took on the role of the Team Canada MX of Nations manager.
Okay.
I got the nod through Carl Bastido, who was the guy that was doing it, who actually did it this past summer when he had to kind of fill the role back in. And I went into that with a positive attitude, and I ended up raising $50,000. I didn't like go to a corporation. I didn't try to like do sponsorship type things. I literally went to the people and raised 50 grand. It was the first time kind of ever that it sort of went that way, because normally people kind of put out of pocket, or you get a big corporation to sponsor it and like that. And actually, I shouldn't say I raised 50, because I raised $37,000, and then right at the last minute when I named the team, Honda, KTM, Marin Bikes, and Pulp MX kicked in the last amount, whether they were doing some online things or just a sheer check kind of thing. So there was a little bit of corporate money, but the majority was given from the people. So anyway, what that did And I've built a network from over the years doing everything that I've done. And what that did is just kind of open the eyes of some industry stuff. And then at the time in Ontario, the CMRC was kind of looking for someone to sort of run it and manage it. And my boss at the time from the announcing gig at the Nationals, Mark Stollybrass, he's like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And I'm like, "All right." So he gave me $30,000, and I basically ran the CMRC under the name AMO. So I kind of rebranded it, if you will, with the CMRC infrastructure, with the rules and the insurance and all that kind of stuff, and sort of rebranded it. And I did that. And then that summer, there was a lot of we're in such a small community. It's you can build a lot of. Hate is a strong word, but you can build a lot of sort of frustration within, oh, where's the money going, or what's happening here, or why does he do it this way? So anyway, that summer, I'm very honest and very open. So I'm sharing the financials with all the tracks and all the other guys and the partners I'm working with, and they're like, "Wow, we didn't know this, and we didn't really understand that, and now we do, and why don't you just do this on your own?" And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I work for Mark, and at the time, Mark, he's like a father figure to me, man. I worked for the guy since 2002. I knew him when I was racing in Ontario. Like, he was a real close personal friend. So at the end of 15, after running it, having a successful year, and sort of kind of giving a rejuvenation to the CMRC, we had a meeting, and I went to him and I said, "Hey man, this is what's on the table." I got a family now. I gotta make sure I can make money, and I like doing the effort. I don't mind doing the work. And anyway, we had a meeting, and it didn't go the way that I thought it was gonna go. So basically, it ended not with a falling out, but it ended like, all right, kind of like, I'm going this way, you're going that way. Kind of good luck. Literally since that day, we haven't spoke any words, and it definitely saddens me. I'm not an emotional guy. I don't like to hug or anything like that, or be crying. I miss my guy, Stalker Brass. So if he does get to see this stuff, I miss you, buddy. I hope you're well. 7 years later, things change. But anyway, from that day forward, I basically aim to kind of change the way that we go about promoting races. Obviously, I'm in business. I want to make money. It's not illegal to make money. I want to pay my bills. I want to put food on the table for my kids. But one of my biggest goals was to try to make sure that I was extra communicative in selling the sport, making sure people understood it, how to sign up, getting into it, meeting friends, knowing that it's all about family. And since that day, I've been doing it. And now here we are getting on to year number six. Coming in 2022. Last year, with the unfortunate side of COVID, it is really branched out and made motocross very healthy. I went from like 370 members up to 1,164 last year.
Oh, wow.
So, it was, booming. So, and I've changed the way that we charge for membership, where back in the days when we started, it was $140. I only charge $50 now. So I've lowered the cost. So the membership value in return is a lot higher and a lot more easier for people to get involved in it. And like you sort of said, or like I said at the beginning with the draws, I'm giving away, I'm doing prizes, I'm making trophies. I'm trying to go over the top for people to get the experience. When you go to hockeys and baseballs and all that kind of stuff, it's this team atmosphere and all that kind of stuff, where it's family oriented in motocross, but then on the track, it's very, it's a self sport. You're motivated by yourself. You put yourself at risk. So I'm trying to do my best at giving back and making people see the value in racing dirt bikes. But, I'm not just saying, here, it's free, it's this, it's that. I'm bringing in sponsors, and I'm making sure there's value from them and partnerships and stuff. And, man, I got a good thing going. I'm super excited, and I know people see it, and I'm a no bullshit guy. I don't hide things. I'm not secret. I'm not a snake. And people are seeing that. And right now we're booming. I'm looking forward to 2022. And that's kind of how it all started, man. Just being honest, being creative, and being communicative.
Nah, that's what's up, man. That's how you got to branch out and do your own thing. Sometimes you got to follow your own path, man, and it'll take you places that you wouldn't know unless you put yourself there. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
So with that being said, man, like, has it been like I'm sure it's been a lot of stress, but at the same time, is it a stress reliever seeing the outcome? Yeah,
I mean, last year the numbers were definitely make it good. Obviously, you see that roll into your bank account. So the return on it is like, wow, this feels good.
Yeah.
But then you're also like in the same position, like, okay, as I'm getting bigger, I want to make people see that I'm not just collect. I want to put back into it so people can understand that it is, we're again, giving that value, giving that sense of partnership. Not just my sponsors are partners, but all my members. They're like a partner with me, because basically buying a membership is almost like buying stock in AMO. So in a sense, that's a thing. But with anything comes stress, right? And of course, you get a little bit bigger, you get stressed out. I think I handle stress well. I don't know. If you ask my wife this, maybe not, because I think maybe I bring it home with me. But whether it's an upset parent that maybe little Johnny doesn't get the result because they cut the track, or so we got to step into the rule book, or going into event like they miss sign up, because we put a time frame on it. You got to get signed up, and they miss it there, so you get kind of attacked. But I think with anything, the stress is there, but I think I handle it well, and I usually don't get it until we get to the events. Like, I'm a extra organized kind of guy, but even when I go to the events, I know it's turnkey, and it's still like, okay, did I do this? Did I get that done? Have I got this over here? Do I got enough people? So I just like to make sure, not perfection, but like I said, bringing that value. And so I get stressed. I'm short on hair. I'm getting a little less hair, so maybe
I got plenty you can borrow.
The sort of thing there. So, but it's going well, and I you know what I mean. I handle it as best I can, and that's just what I aim for.
That's good, man. You got a good positive outlook on everything, man, and you're handling things really well, man. I like to see AMO grow even more to what you want it to be, or what the future holds for it, man, because it's a lot of guys that, like you said, are turning moto, and the sport's booming right now, man. And so man. And let's go back to your rule book. Are you who's writing all your rules? Are you kind of like adapting some of the rules from the other series and bringing them into your rule book? Or are you creating your own rules?
So basically, back when Canadian Moto started, the CMA was there, so they had a rule book, and it's basically just kind of grown from there. I mean, the rule book from the start of motocross has basically been where it's basic from, and then grown from there. And then in Canada, each region has maybe a different class name or a different sort of idea. So I do a lot of my own updates. The basic rules in place, and then as we've modernized and bikes have come, 4-stroke, 2-stroke, age groups, everything like that, I just kind of adapt what I see, what I think. But it's basically on me. I have a couple of people that I bounce off of. Actually, one of them is Steve Sims, that we talk to a lot. I know you had him on your podcast a little bit while ago, and I branch out to a lot of my partners with the track, like a Brett Lee or a Derek Schuster of Go for Dunes, and Walton, and then MX 101 Kevin Tyler. Just like I said, I really like to be communicative. I don't want to be like, I'm the guy, I know everything. So I try to get branch out, but basically I just kind of follow other series, the AMA, the MRC, which is our national sanctioning group, the Pro Series, and then I just kind of adapt it. And then, of course, if I see something that moving forward, I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. We're going to have to move that here, and, kind of do it on my own. So it's a lot of, monkey see, monkey do kind of thing with it all, and you just kind of play it by ear. But, for the most part, I do my own rules, but it basically comes from what has been there for over years, and then just kind of gets adaptive as we go.
Okay. No, you like to talk, so do I. Are you doing your own commentating at the AMO series?
No, I wish I did, but no, I have a guy, Dave Bell, that I hire, who has been literally, man, I got to say, he's been doing this 30 some odd years at the local scene. I just don't have time. You'll have to come out to one of my events this year. Like, I will. I'm running around helping flaggers, or I'm over at the start gate making sure this is happening. I'm a hands-on guy. Like, if you see me on the weekends, and you get, everybody's got a stepwatch now, right? Count your steps and all that kind of stuff. Although that's more of a womany thing kind of do. But I see my steps out there, and but I'm all over the place. I want to make sure that every little facet of what's going on is covered, even though I have someone in place. But if they need a break or they need help, I'm running around and doing as much as I can. I'm again a little bit of a perfectionist that way. I want everybody to make sure that they're welcomed no matter what it is. Going to staging at the start gate, coming to the trailer for administration, going over to the track for the 50 groups, whatever it is there. So no, I hire a guy at my local races. I only do usually the stuff that's got a TV camera in front of it nowadays.
That's what's up, man. That's good. That's good. No. When you retired, like from racing, where did you know where you were going? Did you know which direction you were going after that, or did you have something planned out?
No, I never really had anything planned at all, to be honest with you. That was one thing I was very bad at, is sort of planning for the future. But the cool part about my announcing stuff is my racing crossed over with it. So
Yes.
I was able to kind of do both at the same time. So back in 2002, when I started doing it for the Canadian National Series, I was still racing. So I would race the little bike class, the 125 it was called at the time, or the 250s now, and then I would commentate or do the sideline stuff for the bigger bike class, the 450 class. So I was able to kind of do both, and then it opened some doors where I was able to get down into the AMA series when it was on Speed TV back in 2004. So there was a little bit of a working sort of plan, if you will. I didn't know I'd be doing this now for almost, this would be my 20th year, I guess, starting doing TV stuff. I never planned it, but I've always been confident in front of a camera. I've always been confident talking. So I kind of hoped that would lead to something, and it kind of has over the years, sort of thing, but there was never really a plan. And then again, AMO and sort of this promotion side of thing, it sort of fell into my lap as well. And if I go back to like when I was younger, my dad, he was just a construction worker kind of thing, just a hard labor guy. And I do that kind of stuff on the side, but I hated that. Like, I don't like the cold. I don't like being out in the cold and stuff like that. So that never really panned out. So I always hoped that being on the mic and stuff like that would lead to things after racing, and that's sort of where it's gone. And then, like I said, AMO, it just kind of fell into my lap, and I've taken it as far as I have right now.
Okay, now with AMO, it's 2022. You guys got anything planned for next year that may be a little bit different as far as like maybe wanting to step your guys' game up?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, so we lost a group on the east side of Ontario. So basically, Ontario is so big, Ontario is such a big province. It's hard for, say, a racer in Ottawa to travel to London and go for dunes. Like, it's a long weekend. You're asking a lot of the customer and stuff like that. And for the last for the last almost 6 years, it's been that way. And we lost a group on the east side of Ontario, which has actually been a blessing because, unfortunately, I don't believe they were in it for the right reasons. They were at the beginning of it, and then they lost their idea from it, and it's just a shame. We actually had a big falling out on the business side of it, so I don't wish any luck to that guy, whatever, and I got no problem saying that. Yeah. But now the way things are working, I've gone out east, and we have got more tracks on the eastern side of Ontario, and that was one of the biggest goals for me, to make it so my people from like a Cobourg or a Peterborough or Ottawa, not every weekend we're having to drive almost 7, 8, 9 hours, because in the visual of it, motocross is amazing and you stick with it, but say your kid is, the 10th place or the 12th place kid, the fun gets lost on it after you're barely getting any sleep, and maybe your bikes are breaking, and then you're driving all this effort, and of course the cost involved with gas and travel and all that kind of stuff, and wear and tear on vehicles. So my goal this year was to really try to open up some doors more on the east side for those people. And that's what we've done. So Free Flow MX Park, Lun MX, and MX 101 we have 5 separate events going on just out there. And we'll have a series within a series going on out there, just to make it a little bit easier. And of course, if people are chasing the True North Fleet Provincial Series, they'll drive to Gopher and they'll drive to Walton and such like that. And then the other thing is we're bringing back a track called Auburn Hills Motocross, and it was around back in about 1994 it started, and then it stopped in about 2008. The township and the owner just couldn't pan it out, and then it went away. And then now we've got a new buyer involved, a new owner of the land, and he loves moto. They went to the township. We did it all by the Rulebook, and we're back for 2022 with that track. And it's kind of out on the Walton area, Huron County, and it's going to be a banger. So we've added some new tracks, put a little bit more value again into the system. Nothing much on my end. I'm going to bring back another class, Schoolboy 2, which is a new class we'll bring back this year, but not a lot of other things. Every event will have its own sort of little niche. Pit bike races, mom and dad races, some gift prizes, some games, but the standardized good product that we got right now will be sort of the similar, but just adding some new tracks, a couple new sponsors, stuff like that, but nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? You drop the gate, you turn the throttle, you race. I can't fix that very much. All the stuff on the back side of that gate is where we'll try to make sure that people get that best value and enjoy the experience.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
bringing tracks back, bringing families together,
Yeah.
man, and making shit happen. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
no, no, no. Let me ask you this, man. Kind of a off the wall question. I listen to Pope. What made you decide to go out there and race Glen Helen? And I mean, what and why? I mean, was it business that you were going out there for, and you decided to race, or was it planned out before you even went out there to race?
No, it was kind of planned out prior. So I've become pretty decent friends with Steve Mathis, the runner of Pulp MX and the Pulp MX Empire, as all of our friends like to call it. And he rides Yamaha. I'm a current Yamaha sort of sponsored rider as well. I've been with them since 1993 and only missed like 3 or 4 years. So
Okay.
anyway, it was something that I kind of wanted to do, and it kind of fell into place. He got me a bike, and then the rest just kind of fell in. And then it had really nothing to do with business, but I I have fun on his show. I have good followship through his show. He likes having me on it, so it worked out as well for the show side of things. And then going to the Chris Kiefer's pad and creating it just basically was something that kind of got thrown at me, or not, that I threw out at him to create a little bit of a story and just go have fun. And then of course I ended up winning one of the classes, which was awesome. It was fun that way. And then if you listen, I think it was show 404 on his stuff, and dude, we had a great time. It was such a laughable thing. There was tons of Canadians down there, and it just sort of one of those things that was an idea that came up, and then it turned out to be an absolute blast. One of the best trips of my life. Big thanks to Steve for that, obviously, and Chris Kiefer on that one. And a Yamaha USA was the one that got me the bike, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, it wasn't something that was like, man, I have put down on paper and jot down all these ideas. I text him like, hey man, what are your thoughts on this? I want to go to this. And Chris Kiefer at the time was like poking him as the bear, and you need to race, and boom, that was it. My sort of like excitement of going got him excited, and then Kiefer got excited, and it was thrown together. And I was supposed to go again this year, and I had some not health issues and stuff like that, and I had to go in to see some doctors. Everything's cool. It was all good like that. Good. And I went in, got all that figured out. But it was right around the time I had to go see these doctors and stuff like that. And so I wasn't able to go, but it'll be on the list again. Don't worry. We got to create that storyline again. It was way too much fun.
Yeah. You still getting your leg over a bike here back in Canada, and still turning the throttle and racing part-time a little bit here and there?
As much as I can. My goal last year was funny. My goal last year, I have a great staff at AMO. They basically run everything, and I just kind of oversee and help them. And my goal was for my kids to ride on the Saturdays, and then I would race on the Sundays. And then when I wasn't racing in, say, the plus 40 class or whatever it was, I would go and do the work stuff. Well, it just got so darn busy that I never really found a chance to race as much as I like. But I still have Yamaha 450 from Yamaha Canada. They help me out. And I still got some cool sponsors like Fox Canada and Works Connection and stuff like that. They give me some things to help ride. So I ride as much as I can.
Okay.
I don't get to race as much as I would like. But I think I probably put, I don't know, 20 hours on my bike this year. Okay. And now that my kids are racing and riding, it makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of get motivated as well. So
yes.
I'd like to say right now I plan to race more and ride more coming into 2022. But work always takes precedence over that stuff. So.